Hey there. Today we're just going to do a quick overview of the new asset pack that I'm working on. It's not quite finalized yet, but you'll get a really good idea of what it's all about here. Um, so I'm going to switch over to my screen capture right now, and I created a new project, and in that project I basically I'll just go in there right now and show you new terrain, assets, pack tiles, RPT tiles, and then in the um, medieval ground tiles and decals, I basically deleted everything except for the stock default ones, um, and threw my own in here. The only one that I did save was a water tile because I was having some issues with my water tile. So I took this water tile 4 that was stock in the content and I brought it in. All these tiles that I've created are 512 by 512 and they're all seamless except I think that I messed up on my water tiles here and didn't make them seamless. So I've probably got to re-render those out. Not really an issue, but if you look at my tiles compared to the stock one, they're just a little bit shinier, a little different pattern. I just wanted to come up with my own, and I was able to set these colors and make these sea foams based on those colors so that I could have some chop where the foam either hits rocks or the beach or whatever, right? So I'll demonstrate that in the engine here. And I've basically got things everywhere from algae to floorboards, a bunch of different grass and moss textures, progressive ground textures where they get more rocky as you go so that you can actually mix up your ground tiles and not just have the same uniform terrain in the same type of area. It just gives you more variety. Then I've got some grasslands, some different grass. And I've got Highlands 1, which is a very deep green theme, kind of like an Irish Highlands or Scottish Highlands, or a coastal Highlands. That's what I'm going for, is kind of a coastal pack here. But then I've got more of a rocky, craggy one, a version of the same thing, and a little bit of a more red than brown, just to add some variety in there depending on what you want. I've got some ice tiles. There's some snow tiles in there, liquid metal. I've got these fog files in here, but I haven't played around with those yet and applied them. They're labeled as a tile. They'll be proper fogs later. I'm just still developing this kit. I'm like 90% there, so I'm just giving it a preview. Um, then I got the various sea foams. I got uh, really kind of deep furrowed sand, more shallow furrowed sand. Then I've got a deep furrowed tight sand, like a windborne sand. Then I got another one that's even more tight, so in that shade. I've got grounds that go along with the different terrains, so like monolithic stone patterns, the various shadings, and then I've got corresponding rock walls that are just thick, dense rock walls, or ice wall in that case, I guess. Just in the shades that they're darker than these. So, for instance, this one is more of it's a little bit of a red, to kind of go with that red. And then, like this one's a bit of a yellow to go with that yellow. That one's a deep gray green. So you go that one. There's a gray, and you'd use that one. So they correspond, O2, O2, etc., etc., right? Got some tech floor stuff. Got some tiles for dungeons, etc. Got some tundra that I put in here. And then there's the stock water tile floor. So I'll just close that down. And I'll show you an engine here. So now what you can see is I've given myself a start area just so that I start there. And I've got seafoam and stuff in here, and I'll just jump in and give you a quick little run around. So I'll run up here. Now what I've done is I've set this just upward at 7. So this is Jesse's water, not mine. Mine had a bit of a seamless issue, like I said earlier, but it's more or less the same color. Slightly different color here, but you can see how that sea foam looks really good hitting onto that beach there. It kind of just gives you that blend from the water to the beach. That's what was kind of missing before, so I've created those in the various shades. Here's the sand transition, the gradual one into the darker one, and then into the red sands. I probably need a sand pattern somewhere in between these two, but I kind of thought they'd be used differently. I thought this would be used on a beach and then maybe transition like up onto the rock or grass or whatever, and this one, the red one, would be used more in a desert type environment. But anyway, then you can see I've got the kind of the brown dirt and rock pattern going, heavy rock and kind of crusty dirt going on here, like a shale ground. And then I've got a little more of a gray one over here. You can see I've got those gray cliff walls on a gray kind of cave floor bottom. And then in here I've got a just the textured pattern you'd use for a room or something. And you'd probably put walls or something in here with harder edges, right? You know, as objects, you'd throw those in. But I haven't put any objects in here at all. This is just a terrain demo. And then we'll come up here, and you can see I've got the one terrain, and then I've got the cliff, and then I've got the other darker cliff here. We'll just go walk along the top of the cliff here. There's no blocking or pathing or anything. This is just simply terrain laid down. You can see here I've got that one highland terrain up top here that I'm using, and then a little bit of a kind of a clovery grass laid over top of it, just to give you the kind of that Irish cliff look, or coastal cliff look, whatever, from the highlands. This is just the stock in furnace texture. So we're just going to run back down here. So there's just a bit of a road texture. That's where we started at, was a bit of a road texture. There's that other slightly redder pattern than those other two that are up top, and there's the grayer of the two. Then I laid down some dirt here just to show you kind of how the different dirt works. There's two different dirts at work here. There's a softer one and then one with just a little bit of rock in it over here towards the edge. You can see there's a bit more rock going on in there and here where I've added it in, and then this is the one without any rock in it, just to show you how you can kind of gently transition. Then that transitions into a mossy rocky ground. Then that transitions into kind of a greener mossy gray ground. So you can see how those two work well together to transition. And then into an orangey with a green ground. You could actually probably, I put that on the other side, but that would actually be a better transition into this one maybe, in between the middle. And then the furnace again, and then just another rock. And there's a few grasses I didn't lay down in here. So we're just going to go down into tiles. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom out here over to this, and I'm just going to find a few of these, paint some algae here, put a little bit of algae down, put a little bit of red algae down, then I think I did these coastal grasses, but what I'm going to do is I'll do coastal grass, that mossy one, that one there, and I'll do this one joining the two of them, so you can see the transition there. Actually, I should do, sure, why not? Doesn't look that great in that use, but whatever. Okay, so that was those three. So then we're going to come down here, coastal grass 4, I think. Well, that is that one. I believe that's that one. Yeah, okay. Different dirts. Come down here to ground grass. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do ground grass 1. And that's what I got at the top of the cliffs, that one. And ground grass 1, ground grass 2, ground grass 3. And you see that one's got a few more fall colors in it. Then Highlands 1 across the edge of all three of them, and Highland 2. Actually, we'll do Highland 3 first. And then we'll do a Highland 2 here. Perfect. Okay, now we've got some, put down these metals. They're a pretty big pooled pattern here. And what you do with these is you give them a shimmer, a shader. So we're going to go in here, browse, neutrines, data. Oh, I don't have any shaders there, so I need to go, I'll have to go into my cryptid force data, grab my shaders, and what are we going to grab here? We're going to grab I think we're going to do like a lava shader on it. We'll do lava 1. No, we'll do lava 2. We'll do lava 2 because I know what that's supposed to look like. Okay. And then this one, same thing. And same thing on the copper. Paint it up here. There we go. You can see how we got a nice little ripple going on that way. And then, okay, what else did I have happening? Then it was the waters and the sea foams and stuff like that. Make a little lava pile here somewhere. Let's go, let's put this down. So you can see that hard edge I was talking about in my water, that I've got a problem in my water, but I'm going to fix that easy enough here. And then we're going to move that by 3 and 3. We're going to move that. We're going to give it a shader. And we're going to call it lava 2. There, now we've given it a bit of a shader and a bit of a water move. Now we're going to come down here. And then that one we're going to go and there, we're just testing that out, see how that looks, kind of like a lava. I think with this one, the inverse should happen. The white should actually be like a black or a deep red, and then that'll really make it pop. I'll probably end up doing that. I'll change that around. Okay, now we're going to lay down some winter stuff here. Where have I got some space left? I'll come up here. Okay, we'll lay down some snow. We'll lay down a nice big field of snow here. And then we'll surround it with this other one. got two different gradients of snow here, and then I should have where is it? There we go, tundra. So now I'm going to take some tundra. I'll take tundra 1. Transition that in pretty good there a little bit. Then we'll grab tundra 2. And then we'll grab some tundra 3. And then I'm going to use this. Turn that into a techno floor over there. And that pretty much sums up this pack. I am going to add some ice to it. There's a couple of things I still need to work on, but you can see there, the snow looks pretty good. Probably going to do a snow molted into green dirt, or gray dirt, and into brown dirt. And there you go, onto our little techno floor there. Come running down here. There's our algae. All our different ground terrains that we laid down. Our shimmering metal. And yeah, we'll come over here to the lava, but yeah, that lava needs to be inverted, and I need to fix that one. Maybe make it a little more red. Like, that's a work in progress, but you can kind of get the idea what I'm playing around with there. So yeah, that's the essentially. That is my first texture terrain pack for RGPTools. So hopefully this didn't go on too long. But I really wanted to share this, try to keep it under 20 minutes, just give you a full tour of what I've been working on and what I'm up to. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.